Today marks the 20th anniversary of The Hills Have Eyes reboot. How much do you want to bet I can show you something that everybody has missed for the past 20 years? You're on. What's up, cretins? What's up, creeps? My name is Chris. I am the only person talking horror on the internet. Do me a favor, hit the sub. I'm trying to hit 5K before my 2-year anniversary this June. Warning, there's spoilers ahead, including the conclusion of the film. So one of my favorite horror remakes is Alexandre Aja's 2006 remake of Wes Craven's 1977 classic, The Hills Have Eyes. Both movies tell the stories of families stuck in a desert being stalked and hunted by the native people. Basically, the same beats are followed. The big difference that's usually cited between the two is that while Craven's villains were a pack of inbred cannibals, Aja's were the result of exposure to nuclear fallout. But Aja did something else too. Because check this out. So the first exposure that the Carter clan have to the mutants is that the mutant named Ruby reaches into their car and steals Bobby's red hoodie. Ruby wears that hoodie for the duration of the film, hood up. The Carters decide to take an ill-advised shortcut through the hills, and Ruby later shows sympathy to them because she likely did something similar at some point, because Ruby is Little Red Riding Hood, and the Carters have just entered some fairy tale fabled land. Go with me on this. The next of the mutants that we meet is Goggle. Now, Goggle doesn't do a ton throughout the course of the movie, but what Goggle does do is wear this wide-brimmed hat and laugh maniacally for no reason, because Goggle is the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Not enough? Cool. After nightfall, the mutants descend upon the Carters' trailer. We saw this guy in the cold open. His name is Pluto. And while the knee-jerk reaction tells us all either the Toxic Avenger or Sloth from the Goonies, neither of those are fables. Pluto is, however, framed as the strongest and, more importantly, the largest of all of the mutants. And it's no surprise that he's ultimately dispatched by Doug, a much smaller man who's carrying an axe. Because Pluto is the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. Still not buying it. Okay. Pluto's accompanied by the super sadistic Lizard. Lizard's most memorable visual attribute is his cleft lip. One of Rumpelstiltskin's physical attributes is his open mouth sneer. And if you didn't put it together, just like Rumpelstiltskin, Lizard steals a baby from a couple. Yeah, I agree, it is kind of weird. So to get his baby back, Doug opens this huge door in one of the hills and goes through a cave to get to the mutants' village. This is a parallel of Alice going down the rabbit hole to reach Wonderland. And in the village, Doug meets the wheelchair-bound Big Brain, a mutant who can't even hold his oversized egg-shaped head upright. Now, we already went over it. Doug fights Pluto, he offs him, but then Doug's dog then growls and leaps onto Big Brain. You don't see it, we cut to the outside, but all you hear is a splat. And I presume that all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Big Brain together again. Here's the kicker. We then go back to the camper where Bobby and Brenda are preparing for the worst, in which they will encounter the leader of the mutants, Jupiter. Bobby goes out into the hills and finds Jupiter eating the remains of Bobby and Brenda's mother. So they lure Jupiter back to the camper, trap him, and explode it. Let me recap that for you. That's siblings narrowly escape being eaten by somebody by tricking them, trapping them, and burning them alive. I mean, you couldn't just name them Hansel and Gretel, right? That would be too on the nose. I mean, that would be like naming the dogs in the movie Beauty and Beast. Oh, but while we're on the subject, the dogs in the movie are named Beauty and Beast. But in all fairness and objectivity, they were named such in the original as well, and I don't see any other fairy tale ties in the original version. But could Aja have taken a look at the original scene Beauty and Beast and said, hey, what if they're all fairy tale characters? I don't know. To be honest with you, I saw it on opening night in 2006 down in Savannah, Georgia. This is how I've always read this movie from the first time that I saw it. But what do you think? Because this concludes what I believe to be Alexandre Aja's secret homage to children's fables, The Hills Have Eyes. Did I convince you? If I did, you can keep your money. It's all good. Just do me a favor, boost the shit out of this video. I'd love for it to make its way to the man himself so that he can either confirm it or just like embarrass the shit out of me and be like, what are you talking about? None of that's there. It would be an honor. That's all I got for you, cretins. That's going to do it for today, creeps. Do all these things. Watch The Hills Have Eyes for the 20th anniversary and let me know if you see the parallels right over here. And as always, this is all just a matter of opinion. See it yourself, make your own decisions, remain critical, support horror.